Part of the global energy revolution includes a little bit of travel. Now, Roche has had to drag himself to the other side of the world, to China, and I've got to fly to Adelaide. Fortunately, I love Adelaide. And today, while he's looking actually how the technology is being manufactured and produced, I'm going to be following the story of an average Australian family and see how they are implementing this technology. We're going to talk about how it's installed, the cost of it, and how they think it's going to transform their lives. Join me now as we take a look. Thanks so much for having us at your house. In fact, I think you're going to be having a whole team of people in your house today taking over. I'd like to know the journey leading up to this stage when you're talking about adding some technology to your house to make it more energy efficient.
Yeah, look, we moved back here to South Australia a year or two ago, and I think like everyone, you're conscious of doing the right thing by the environment, but with a growing family, you're also conscious of power bills and sustainability, like financial and environmental sustainability. So I think for us that was probably the start of the journey, doing the right thing, but also looking after your family.
It's a modern home, it's quite new, it's not very old at all. What are you looking at now as far as energy bills? There's the two of you, you've got two daughters as well, so there's a family of four. What are you looking at with energy bills currently?
So at the moment that's about $3,500–4,000 a year, so it is significant. Yep. And we probably all know that that's only increasing. I mean, only recently they announced that the last 12 months it's a 20 to 25% increase. So there's no signs that that's going to change or slow down. So if you think of it from that perspective, that does become unsustainable, I think, for families. And as you say, got two girls, one that's a teenager, they tend to like long showers, they tend to use a lot of electronic devices. So, you know, there's no stopping the consumption of power. So anything you can do to control that, but also look after the environment, I think is a good choice.
An important thing.
Yeah.
Tiffany, you've got two young daughters. One of them is a teenager. My daughter's just clicked out of being a teenager, so I know what long showers are like. From an energy consumption point of view, how's the house operating now? And I suppose summer, you know, it's about cooling, but in winter it's about heating it up.
Well, I'm really looking forward to not the constant arguing between Ella and Rob with how long she showers and all the electronics she has running, including her beauty fridge.
Right, a beauty fridge?
Her makeup fridge,
wow.
Yeah. So we've got her glow lights, her beauty fridges, and all those fun teenage
I'm going to have
things.
to speak to her. I need a beauty fridge by the sounds of it. I mean, any of those equipments like fridges and, you know, dishwashers and things that use a lot of power, but also the hot water system is a big one. So what sort of research have you done and what made you end up coming to work with the team that we got on board today?
I think you check the market and we have a look at what's out there, reputable providers, and it is around cost, it's around reliability, after sales service. I think, you know, we're comfortable that you go through that process when you look for your providers. And, you know, ultimately a lot of decisions are driven by cost. That's the reality. And at a time when cost of living is a significant issue for everybody, a lot of your decisions are driven by cost. So yes, I do have the stopwatch on the shower sometimes, only when it creeps over 20 minutes.
That's what dads do, it's okay.
That's right.
I do it as well.
Standard. So I think we just monitor things like that, and so these decisions are the right decisions for your family and for your home budget. But as I say, also for the environment. I think here in South Australia we probably lead the way with a lot of environmental sustainability decisions around renewables, and you know, this is part of our decision to jump in that space as well.
You've done some research and you've sort of checked out what's on offer within the market, but you've settled with the people you want to work with. How's that journey been so far, and why did you end up going with them?
Yeah, look, we were really comfortable with the decision around eHomes. I think our dealings with Scott and Adrian from the get-go were fantastic. I think building rapport and understanding that they listen to what you need and they align their products and services with what it is that you're after. I think we're really comfortable that eHomes met our needs. And then, you know, with your providers, you work through those pieces around the value proposition, and if we feel that eHomes or whoever that provider is that you were going to consider is going to provide after sales service, and we felt really comfortable with eHomes and that they would meet our needs in that space.
You've been in the house now a couple of years, yeah? Why haven't you done it previously? What made it happen now?
We did look at getting solar panels a few years ago. The company that we contacted initially, they weren't very great to deal with. It was bad communication. The service that they seemed to provide wasn't what we were looking for. So, you know, we thought we'd give it another crack. And when we contacted eHomes, they seemed the right fit. Yeah, we're really excited to work with them or to have their service.
I think that relationship thing's so important. You want to be comfortable with, you know, who you're entering into business with.
Yeah.
As far as the needs for the home, we're adding solar panels. What else are we adding to the home?
Yeah, so we've got a system with solar panels, a battery and a heat pump. So it really, if you're going to do it, I think you do it all. I think again, that's part of the decision with solar only. There's not a lot of value in that on its own anymore. So I think if you can bundle those offerings up, not only can you get a great deal, which we feel like we did, but you're also going to tick all of those boxes at once.
Well, I'm looking forward to a busy day with you guys. I want to see and speak to you throughout the day and see the team go crazy. And I'm looking forward to seeing how this home can transform and become really energy efficient. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
Thank
James.
you. Thank you.
Adrian, Scott, it's great to be down here in beautiful Adelaide. I'm excited about what we're going to see today happen on this house. Can you talk us through how this home is going to transform and become energy efficient?
Yeah, so what we're going to be doing today is installing a solar and battery system and then partnering up that with a heat pump as well to get them free hot water.
So what are we talking about the size? What's the size of the system we're putting on the roof?
So we're putting 17 440 watt panels on the roof, and we're putting a 27.96 kilowatt battery, a Fox ESS battery, and we're also installing a 10 kilowatt single phase inverter.
So we've got an interesting dwelling here. It's sort of a small square 2-story, lots of facets on the roof. Is that going to be tricky for the install? How are you dealing with that?
Yeah, quite a tricky design. So we had to make sure we partnered up the right size inverter to get that many different directions. And then obviously being multiple stories as well. I can't imagine for the boys, the wiring's going to be a bit more difficult for them. But yeah, we were able to manage through.
And we're talking about a hot water system as well. So what are we getting here?
Yeah, so you've got a 270 litre Emerald heat pump. That's going to take away around, it's going to be 80% more efficient than traditional hot water systems as well.
I think that's when people sort of underestimate the energy efficiency, isn't it, that they're going to have with the system. Particularly those people who, you know, think we want to have gas or a traditional electric system. These systems are far more energy efficient.
Correct. So on an electric hot water, traditional electric hot water system, you're going to save roughly around $1,300 a year on electricity and $800 a year on gas.
That's the stuff we love to hear, and the homeowners want to hear that stuff as well. How's it been dealing with them? We've got a young family living here. I mean, it's a new home in a suburb that's really changing and evolving. How's that process been dealing with them?
Yeah, really easy. All we really needed was an electricity bill. We ran through it with them in quite detail, broke it down for them so they understood what they were getting, and then we designed the system around that. So we really tried to customise what they were looking for.
In the time that I've been sort of dealing in this space from a design point of view, the systems are becoming more efficient. So that timeline of how much it's going to cost versus the return in savings, it's sort of getting less as the years go by, isn't it?
Yeah, well, what's helping is electricity prices are going through the roof. So every time the price goes up, you save even more without having to spend anything extra.
We like the prices go through the roof, but we don't want any of your team to go through the roof. There's going to be a lot of people here on site all working at once. They're going to have ladders and a big setup. How long is the time frame that we're going to be looking at this happening today?
With standard battery installs, they're usually about half a day, and then the solar itself will probably be half a day as well. So doing the combination, nearly a full day. Each one on their own, probably half. Yeah.
Henry, how you going, buddy?
Good, mate.
Big day ahead of you, mate.
Yeah, big day. We're going to just marked up all the panels and sussed it out. We got a plan and we start moving with it.
So you're part of the normal install team, obviously up and down a ladders a lot. Tell us what we're going to be doing today.
So, as I said, firstly we mark out the panels, come up with a plan. Once we got a plan, we sort of mount all the railing, get it earthed, get the cables in the roof where they need to be, and then put the panels on.
Is it trickier on a metal roof or a tiled roof? Is there much difference?
It varies a little bit. Tin's probably generally pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, no, they're both similar.
And then you're going to be trying to hide sort of the wires, the cords, if you like, and put them in walls or in cavities.
Yeah, we hide them as much as possible,
Yep.
conduit where we need to, but generally make it as neat as possible is the way to go.
And you start from the top down and then start coming down. So solar panels first in this case, and then starting to look at hot water system battery, or all at once?
So it's sort of, we got enough blokes to run two things at once.
Yep.
So we have a team doing the panels, a team running the cables, and then a team wiring it up at the end.
Now, what's the worst for you, an overcast day or a stinking hot day?
No rain, I'm happy.
No rain and you're happy. Well, we're excited, mate. The homeowners are super excited. So crack on and keep working, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Jesse, how are you, mate?
G'day, James. Well, how are you?
There's so much going on at the front of the house that I thought I'd come around the back here. I know you carried this thing in. That's a damn good looking hot water system.
They
mate.
are, aren't they? They're beautiful, nice and white, and yeah, beautiful.
Now tell us how this works in a different way to a traditional hot water system, which doesn't look as good as that, but it's probably about the same size.
Yeah, so this is a heat pump hot water system. It plugs into a 10 amp plug, so standard sort of external power point.
Yeah.
And it works by sucking the hot air from hot air in through here.
Yeah.
It goes through a chamber inside and pulls the cold air out on this side. So it works without an element, basically a lot like a traditional air conditioner works.
So a hot water system traditionally is about that size. Its running costs are huge because it's heating up all of that water all the time, even when you're at work during the day or 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
This thing is drawing heat in and heating it up in a far more efficient way. What does that sort of efficiency look like?
So they reckon an 80% saving if you install one of these hot water heaters, and they're saying that the gas equivalent is about $800 a year to run.
Wow, it's big, isn't it? So $800. So what are we looking at here as far as costs go?
Yeah, so I think they're about $3,000 to purchase,
Yep.
but with the great rebates that the government's got at the moment, it's sort of coming down to that $1,800 mark.
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, so 2 to 3 years you should have it paid off.
Yeah,
ready to
well,
go.
it'd probably work out nearly a couple of years for a family. So I think it's amazing. People underestimate these rebates. So it's the government's giving the incentive. This is going to really transform how these people live in this home. They're getting solar on the roof, they're getting a battery and this setup, and it's all happening pretty quick, mate. What's your lead time to be able to put this in? How long is it going
Yeah,
to
so
take?
it takes about 4 hours to install one, and then I believe at the moment they've got them in stock, they're ready to go, so they can pull the trigger pretty much straight away.
I love it, mate. We can have those hot showers no matter what time of day it is, especially if you've got a teenage daughter,
Yeah.
because they have showers for a long time, I
Yeah.
know. But it's a good looking unit, so it's great. Well, I should leave you to do some work, mate, and stop interrupting you. I'll be
sounds
checking
great.
out the hot water on the inside. Well
Awesome.
done, buddy.
Thank you, mate. See ya.
Guys, I think it's an exciting time just to stop for a second and comment on how fast this is happening. Is this a normal timeline?
Yeah, it's going quite quickly at the moment, which is great. We've got Rob and Tiff still working inside. Rob's still working from home today, which is good. So they've been uninterrupted while the guys are up on the roof getting it done.
And I suppose, Adrian, the only difference is it sounds like there's a possum up in the roof because there's a bit of walking on there with the metal. But the team have been working really well together. I've got to say, they're opening up the roof. They're putting all of the cords and the piping inside. They're hiding it really cleverly. And obviously that attention to detail is important for waterproofing, but just for aesthetics as well.
Absolutely, it looks brilliant. Everything's going, everything's on track. You know, a lot of people don't realise how quick this process actually is. It's one day of your life where you're going to have 15, 20 years of savings.
Yeah, and I think it's one thing that people don't realise they put on their life. I can pick all the pretty stuff to put in a house, but this is something that's giving you instant return. I've been out the back and seen Jesse. You know, he's got his little corner around there putting in that new heat pump hot water system. It's a damn good looking unit.
It is.
That's going to help change, the cost of having hot showers or hot water all year round.
Absolutely, it's a very good looking unit. Like we said earlier, it's going to save you roughly around $1,300 a year on a traditional electric hot water system.
Now, I want to be honest because I do go to tradie sites a lot. They've all been polite. There's no swearing. Is this also normal? Is this what we get from your team? This is pretty good.
Absolutely. All that we're missing is a pie and a nice coffee.
I think it is time to have a coffee. They're cracking on really fast. I think they're almost finishing the detail and getting close to putting those actual solar panels on. The tracking and all the little pieces are in place, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. We're a couple hours in and not much longer to go.
Yeah, we just need the sun to come out.
That's it.
So, boys, I know it takes a whole team to make something happen, even though young Henry here behind me is the only one who's been working all day. I've been watching, mate. The batteries are in now. Tell us a little bit about what this battery is going to achieve.
Yeah, so with the excess solar, they're going to be able to store all of that instead of selling it back to the grid only for a couple of cents. And then they should be able to cover all of the nighttime usage.
It's quite amazing, isn't it, to be able to store all that power? Because it makes sense we can use the solar during the day, but of course we live 24 hours. And with working families, it's at home when everyone's there at night time that you really need the power.
Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, your solar panels are going to cover your usage during the day, and the battery is going to cover your usage at night time.
Obviously, we get the financial benefits once you've got solar installed in your home, and you know it's going to save you money in the long run. But to pay for it up front, some people don't necessarily have the funds. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so we're lucky we have the Bright partnership, so they do have some financial options for us. So what we can do is you can pay it off as you go on a fortnightly repayment, and we find that it wipes your bill if we do our job right, and then from there the repayments are actually lower than what you'd be normally paying for your electricity bill.
And you can also find us on the Commonwealth Bank vendor marketplace as well.
I think it's important for people to be able to have options. Once we've got the battery installed though, sometimes to future-proof your home, we want to be able to have adaptability. I can see the way that Henry was installing that this unit stacks on top of each other. So it's a battery that can change in height and size. Is this part of the adaptability?
Exactly. So imagine Lego blocks. So you can add another Lego block on top to increase the capacity of the battery.
So as the house needs change, or I don't know, the children get older because they don't leave anymore, they can't afford to, we can adapt that and add extra storage for all of the power created by Mother Nature.
So this battery here, you can actually stack up to 9 stacks. This one here is a 27.96 kilowatt battery. So as the family gets bigger, you can increase your battery capacity as well as time goes on.
Well, we finally got there. It's been a massive day. When we caught up this morning, you know, it was anticipation and talking about what's going to happen. How do you guys feel?
Feeling really excited. Was a little bit nervous this morning. Wasn't sure how everything was going to play out, but it's been a really fun day. Everything's been set up perfectly. It looks great. The service was amazing. All the crew were just amazing, and yeah, really excited about what's to come.
I think the whole family is part of our, you know, we had dogs and girls and definitely a lot of people on site. How do you feel, buddy?
No, I feel good. I think you're right at the start of the show. Might have been a toss-up between Floki the dog and Grace the toddler, but day's gone perfectly. Look, I don't think we could be any more happy. The only personal hiccup today was I was trying to do a bit of work at the same time, and in a Teams meeting with a presentation, and the power went off, but hey, if that's the worst that happens, we've had a great day.
Well, it's funny that the power had to go off, isn't it, Scott? Because obviously young Henry that was there, we would have ended up with an afro otherwise. From your side, mate, you had a lot of trades here all at once. How did it go for you guys?
Yeah, the guys did really well, got installed very quickly, and yeah, I think it went stress-free for at least the team. No hiccups.
Normally the process is that there'd be different layers. So I know myself, I had solar panels before I decided to add a battery, and some people do it that way. Here, everything's happened all at once. So it might not necessarily be everyone's journey, but it can be achieved. It's been a big day.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, with obviously a few teams with the battery and the solar, and also the heat pump as well. Yeah. They all worked well together and got the job done.
I've been walking around watching it all happening as well, and you might realise how it's got to be functional. I love the practicality of solar and battery and the heat pump, but for me it's also got to be good looking because it's a home, you know. And I love how the beautiful heat pump, which is probably one of the best units that I've seen, it's been put in a utility space already around the corner where the air conditioning unit is, and also a tank for water. So that was very clever. That's part of the design consultation right up, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. So we did move it to put it in a better location. So yeah, it's kind of hidden away. No one's going to really notice it, and because of it, you're not going to hear it at all.
Your street was interesting when I arrived this morning because you can see older homes and new homes, and your home is one of the new ones. It's a beautiful leafy street. You can hear all the birds. They're excited by the solar panels, I think. To see this transition, it's got to be aesthetic, and now you're part of that, you know, revolution now of being able to have solar on your house. You talked about anticipating the first energy bill, mate. You've had that sort of talk through. What are you thinking now that all the units in place?
Oh, I think it looks fabulous, as Scott said. Ella would call it aesthetic. She would say that the pieces all look great in the shed and out the back, so everything looks great. It's all functional. So I think from our perspective, you couldn't be happier, really. I mean, it looks good. It will do the job, and we're going to have a minimal power bill, I think. everyone wins.
Some people are apprehensive to add solar panels and even batteries. What would you say to those people who are sort of listening and watching your journey?
It's one of those things that feels difficult, particularly if you're retrofitting a house. Like, it feels as though there's a lot to understand and to make sure it is going to fit with your house. So I think you often step into these things reluctantly, but our experience has been unbelievable. I think everyone's been helpful along the way. We've got the product that we hoped for. The trades have worked seamlessly together. So I think we've been wrapped with the experience, and we couldn't recommend eHomes anymore in terms of what they do. And then we encourage everyone else to get on the solar battery heat pump journey.
Well, thanks once again. You're definitely part of the global energy revolution. I think, mate, it's time for us to leave, to take all of the tradies with us and leave them to enjoy their home, their very energy efficient home. Thanks again, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you.